Pittsburgh Steelers fans, thanks for joining us for another Wednesday night episode of the Pump Your Brakes podcast. 1 to 3 here. I'm your boy Tate, D-O-double-G. Remember I used to call me Tate Dog back in the day, Big G?
Yep, I remember it.
What's
The
up,
double G. I remember that was
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. The triple OG homie Shannon White. What's up, Shannon?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, fellas. I'm just ready to talk some football.
Well, that's definitely what we're going to do. We got a lot planned. That's why I went ahead with the intro first, because we're just going to jump right into it once we get started. Big G, what's happening, man?
What's cracking, man? We got to get them rhythms up, man. Got to get them up early and often, because we got some stuff we're going to talk about tonight on the show. And listen, I got to tell the live chat already, y'all. I'm a little emotional tonight. I'm in my feelings, because it's some trash going on out there where people saying this and that and this about, and I can't even say where my stuff coming from. I got to be quiet about it. But we're going to get into it tonight. But I'm telling you, I'm credible. I'm credible. And I dare anybody to challenge me on it. So let's do what we do, bro.
Well, if the person that I know you talking about is the person, it's a pretty close source to somebody on the team.
Facts.
But let's just get started, man. So a lot of talk. The show's titles about how the national media keep having all these different takes on the Steelers quarterbacks. Yeah, it's mine. It's mine. Mm-hmm. I turned it off, but that's actually was a Facebook notification coming through. I didn't have that cut off.
That's cool, bro.
But yeah, man. All about the Steelers quarterbacks, man.
Mm-hmm.
They giving us the Steelers, when I say us, all kind of dudes, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's see who's some of the dudes that the media has put on the Steelers.
Everybody named Mama. Everybody named Mama.
Everybody.
At one time, I thought I had. Well, let's just put them out there. The ones that I don't think is viable. Let's just start it like this. Shannon, you name one you've heard that you don't think is viable.
Kirk Cousins.
Facts.
Go ahead, Big G. Your turn.
Ryan Tannehill.
Okay. No, this one new from Rich Eisen himself. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Heck no. Trash. We ain't getting no Garoppolo. Get up out of here.
I found my graphics. So y'all can pick another one if you know one, and I'm gonna
Russell Wilson. No.
Full facts. Full facts. They ain't getting Russie neither.
See, no. I mean, I think it's some more credibility to Russ than what we thinking. That's not one of the ones that I had on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, Shannon said Russell Wilson. Go ahead, Big G Stradamus.
Shoot, that's it. Everybody else might be fair
game. Man, hold on. I'm great.
They've also talked about Baker Mayfield.
Oh, heck no. Man, keep that trash. Oh, my God. No.
Baker was one not on my list, but they have been saying that. I didn't think it was any credibility that I think he's going to stay in Tampa. So I didn't put him up. But here's some of the guys. We named what? They talked about Joe Flacco as of late.
No. Heck no.
Taylor Heineke.
Garbage. Trash.
Carson Wentz.
No.
And Jacoby Brissett.
No.
These are
no.
These are all quarterbacks that the media has said could potentially be a suitor for the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback position.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, I don't want any of those guys.
Yeah, they ain't none of them coming to Pittsburgh. I don't know what they talking about.
I guess the only one I kind of understand is Ryan Tannehill, maybe, and that's only because he's familiar with Art Smith's offense.
Facts, it could be.
And he's a veteran with backup Kenny, but we would want him on the field almost equally as much as we didn't want Mitch on the field this past year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know? So yeah, so they've kind of been all over the place on the ones that potentially could come that we don't want, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could see Brissett that because if they don't get Rudolph, they're not going to, if they're committed to Kenny Pickett to give him one more year, they will want a seasoned veteran who is kind of accept that number 2 role. So Brissett would fit in there more than the rest of those guys.
See, well, I don't understand why they want somebody that's going to accept the number 2 role, and you want competition. If you know somebody going to be number 2, that's not competition.
No, I agree. I'm just saying that if they go into this, like some of the rumors, KP 8 is already, because they're going to give him one more year regardless to let him try to be the starter. Then because of his draft pedigree, then that's what they would want in a number 2.
Well, I get it, but to me, you don't set it up so he can win if you want competition. So you want somebody to come in and be content to be number 2, let Kenny run with number 1, but you want competition. That's talking about both sides of your neck to me. Both sides of your neck to me.
Yeah, well, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing for that. I'm just saying why he would be an option.
So this is the deal, and I'm just talking about Mason right now. The issue why people think it's the money game with Mason. Mason is going to demand, but if you read between the lines with the language, Mason is basically saying he's not willing to accept the fact of being the number 2. And the issue is even more so if KPA does start, when he starts playing trash, they're going to be calling Mason's. They're going to be chanting Mason's name from the sideline. And KPA
in halftime of game 1 of Kenny sticking it up.
Yep. And they're going to be calling for Mason, and Kenny's so fragile, he can't deal with it.
Yeah,
so if they do anything like that, that's what they're going to do.
And that's why I don't think that works. For one, I don't think Mason should have any trust in the Steelers. He been sitting behind some of these bum dudes outside of Ben for the past 4 or 5 years.
Facts.
3 or 4 years, I guess, since Mitch and Kenny got in the building. And Mason been sitting behind both of them. He clearly showed that he's as good, if not better.
Yeah.
So I do think if you bring, and I think Mason will have suitors. I really think he'll have suitors.
Yeah,
but if I was Mason, I wouldn't trust Steelers anyway. I'd go somewhere, get my $8-10 million and be a backup with maybe a real opportunity to start somewhere.
Wherever he go, he's going to be the bridge. Wherever he is, he's the bridge, Tate and Shannon. Wherever he's at, he's the bridge.
He is not a full-time starting quarterback in the NFL.
No, I don't think so. And we think after a 4-game sample size where the play was adequate, I mean, like, us Steeler fans got lovey-dovey eyes for Mason since he had this nice little 4-game stretch. And it wasn't great. It was nice. It was competent quarterback play, which we weren't getting all year. So when we see it, we think it's the best thing since sliced bread.
4 games without Canada against really bad defenses, and now he's the savior. I mean, I'm glad he had that success, and I wish him nothing but the best, whether it's here or somewhere else, but that's the truth.
I don't disagree. But if Mason not signing is more about KP8 than it is about Mason not signing. The issue is
I think Mason potentially not signing because Mason want to do something new. He don't want to be at the Steelers. Y'all done messed me around for the past 4 or 5 years. I bet it was 2018, 2017.
Yeah, but like I said, if he's the backup and he don't really get a clear shot to fight for that position, and I'm telling you, as soon as KPA start laying eggs and playing trash, that man, we know what's going to be going on over there in Pittsburgh, bro, from the stands.
Well,
they're going to be screaming for him.
This is nothing real quick, but Cam posted on Instagram a picture of him and one of my favorite rappers, J. Cole. So Cam said he was to meet one of his legends. So and J. Cole is a dope rapper out that Fayetteville, North Carolina area.
Facts.
So yeah, I don't know where they was at. Maybe in Vegas somewhere. I don't know.
Cam's a big time dude, man. I love Cam, man. Hopefully we can work out the bread and we can stay with the Steelers for life because he's a big time guy.
Yeah, man. I don't think Cam going nowhere. Next up, Shannon mentioned Russell Wilson. Peter King had said something about Russell Wilson potentially. Maybe Pittsburgh is an option for him. What he wrote was in a division with Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Deshaun Watson, the Steelers would actually choose to enter camp with Kenny Pickett. That sounds like a colossal misjudgment of your quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
And it does.
I agree.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, Kenny's floor is not high enough, let alone his ceiling, to compete with the own quarterbacks in this division. We definitely be looking for, and y'all stop me if I'm wrong, we definitely be looking for Arthur Smith to create an offense that allowed Ryan Tannehill to be good, right? To be serviceable, to actually get to a number 1 seed. I mean, they lost, but to get to a number 1 seed, did they play the AFC Championship game that year? One of those years? I think they might have. And he had a great year, but he's not there. You never thought Ryan Tannehill was going to beat Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or any of those dudes like that. So, I mean, if we just keep Kenny and think that's the thing, then we really letting ourselves down, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Shannon, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I don't really know what to say. They're not going to win a Super Bowl, I don't think, with a lot of these guys that we're talking about, whether it's Pickett, Rudolph, Wilson, Tannehill. I mean, to me, that's what my goal is. I don't know about everybody else. I'm tired of the flat line 9-8, 10-7. I'm just so tired of that, losing in the first round of the playoffs. I want to see. I
completely agree with you, Shannon.
If we bring somebody that can help this team compete to be more than the average, above average, slightly that they are.
Let me ask you this, and just interject, and you can keep going. But in what you're saying, that you're tired of, right? 10-8, 10, or what is it? 9-8, 11, 10-6, 10-7. Yeah. I mean, if we roll out there again with Mason or Kenny, isn't that what we're asking for again? What's what we're asking for?
I'm not.
I think that's what can happen. That's fair, right? Yeah. What do you think, OG?
So listen, this is the deal, bro. Forget all the smoke screens and all what these folks is talking about. I'm listening to what Mr. Rooney said. Mr. Rooney, first of all, people that really know the Steelers know Mr. Rooney don't interact with the media like that. Not like that. Mr. Rooney did a whole.
He has been this past couple of weeks though.
Correct.
He sat down with Bob, what's his name from KDKA, and he sat down with Missy Matthews, and he been letting stuff leak.
That's facts. So that's matter of fact, that's big facts, Tate. So Mr. Rooney is saying that the Steelers are no longer going to sit and let stuff go down the way it's going down. Mr. Rooney is saying that they're going to be aggressive in making the Steelers better and turning them into a contender. So that's coming from the head. All these other folks who's out there talking the head done spoke. Now, the issues is he done brought in some coaches. Now it's time to bring in some players.
Hey, Big G, the only problem I get is Art has a history of this. 5 years ago, he said, we got to develop a running game. We got to get serious about this running game. 3 years later, they draft Najee Harris. But what did they do with the offensive line? Nothing. That was under Kevin Colbert. Now we got Khan, and he drafted Jones in the first round last year. But there still hasn't been a true commitment to rebuild that offensive line. When I see that, and I see the Steelers making decisions based on the new NFL and what you got to do to compete, then I'll believe it. But until then, it's just hot air. It's like a Mike Tomlin press conference. They'll say a lot to really say nothing.
Well, I think, Shannon, that's what we're going to see once that March 13th deadline hit. Once that March 13th deadline hit, I think the Steelers are going to be aggressive with free agency, let alone the draft.
Yeah, they better be.
It's going to be some fails here,
we're gonna keep moving. Let me just interject this real quick. I also think that's why Tomlin hasn't signed a contract yet, because they trying to wait to see how it play out with the quarterback position. I mean, and I told y'all backstage, I ain't heard a peep from Kenny since the end of the season. And you did hear from him then. This time last year, like I said, he was on Cam Hayward's podcast. He was on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and them. He was doing stuff. And I feel like if he wants to be the guy, you got to come out here and say you the guy. You can't just be back behind closed door pouting for the last 6 weeks. You know what I mean? And not that I know that he's pouting officially, but I know I don't see him. I know if you're a franchise guy, you'll be a franchise guy, and you got to come out and be the face of the franchise.
I wish I could tell what I knew. Oh, I wish I could tell.
But so this is I got some of these guys, a superhero. Mm-hmm. I got no Clark Kent's, yes, that's Kenny and Mason, no Superman, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going, like Peter King said, we're going against Burrow, Jackson, and Watson in our division. That's 6 games. Mm-hmm. It's also been reported that Russell Wilson is selling his $25 million mansion in Denver. So he probably read the tea leaves and has been told that he's moving on. They're probably trying to trade him. I don't think they can trade him. Somebody going to pick up Russ's contract. I think ideally, and I've said this before amongst us on this show, that if you get Russ for $4 or $5 million, that's not bad. Bring him in to compete. If Russ washed, Kenny should beat him out. But at least you're bringing in somebody that potentially can beat Kenny and not just setting up for Kenny to win the job.
But Tate, listen, bro. Russ, this the issue, bro. Russ, and this is just my opinion about Russ. Russ is not a Steeler.
Nope.
And he's not.
And Shannon said the same thing. I don't disagree.
But I'm gonna say why he's not. Because Russ, ever since back in Seattle, when he cost them that Super Bowl, your rumblings all about him and Pete Carroll ain't getting along. Mm-hmm. It's hit, this, that, and this, and this. So ended up trading him. They traded him to Denver until Denver got a coach. When Sean Payton became the coach, Sean Payton wasn't having it with Russ. And him and Russ got into it on the sideline. You saw it on national media, and he benched Russ. He benched him.
There's something even worse. Russell Wilson is losing his teammates.
Fact.
Just like Dak Prescott and all the Cowboy receivers and everybody turned on him at the end of the season last year. And he doesn't seem to have anybody in his corner. Russell Wilson's even worse. At the end of his stint in Seattle, I think it was the last 3 or 4 games, he threw like 10 total passes to DK Metcalf. They had a few going. He quit throwing to him. Mm-hmm. And that's his best player on the field. Mm-hmm. Then he goes to Denver, and he alienates his teammates. They don't like him. Mm-hmm. You got a guy that the teammates already, and Kenny Pickett, supposedly don't want him starting. They don't want him back. And you're going to bring in somebody who's even a bigger prima donna with a bigger contract and more experience and more power within the NFL. That's a disaster waiting to happen.
Facts. I agree, Shannon. I don't disagree.
I don't know that his contract will be bigger than 2024 season. Russ has the highest odds is to play for the Steelers. You see Russ's 2023 stats versus Kenny Pickett's 2023 stats. And I think it'll be a conversation between Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin's the kind of coach they can sit when everything opens up and you're allowed to talk. He can talk to Russ and let Russ know what he would need for Russ so we both can get back to where we want to be. We both ain't won a Super Bowl in a number of years, and I think if you at a reasonable price are an experienced quarterback that can help us get to where we want to go. That's what I think.
I mean, I
his
get it.
His teammates don't respect him.
Yeah, I don't.
He hasn't had any Steeler teammates. I think Russ has been humble since all the let Russ cook. I think he's been humble.
Who humbled him was Sean Payton.
And anyway, he's better than Kenny Pickett. And if he's cheaper, why wouldn't you bring him in for competition?
I don't want him. That's just me. I don't want him.
I don't want him.
I don't want him. My ideal guy, and Big G, did you watch that podcast earlier today?
Yep.
Man,
ooh, I wish I could tell what I know, boy. Oh my God. Keep going, man. I wish I could tell. I wish I could tell.
I want Justin Fields bad. Phil Yates from ESPN proposed this trade. He said this what can get Justin Fields. The second round pick and the fourth round, one of the fourth round this year, or you can push it off to next year and give him a third. But to me, this guy, man, you're not going to get a quarterback of this quality after pick 20 in this draft or probably after pick 2 in this draft. So, I mean, so when do the Steelers get their quarterback? We're never going to suck to be up there in the top 5 and get a guy. You got to make a guy happen. You got to take a shot. You got to take a swing. You know what I mean? And it's either pay Justin Fields $22 million next year potentially, or the same decision going to come up with Kenny Pickett next year.
Yeah. Well, listen, first of all, let me say this because people, I'm gonna give you one little hint. There's a reason why my background is Steelers and Ohio State. And I just want you to remember where Justin Fields went to college at. And y'all just don't realize what Big G know on that side of it. Hey, you don't know. You don't know. That's number one. I told you Kenny and Mason was Clark Kent. Tell me I got a superpower for Russell Wilson. Here it goes. He ain't got no Jedi mind trick. Get him out of here.
Hey, man, he's an old, experienced veteran is all I'm saying, man.
Go ahead, Shannon. You got something you want to say. Go ahead, man.
I want to say something. I've been talking a lot on my podcast about outside the box thinking, going against the norm. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather see them take a shot, not mortgage the whole future by trading 3 first-round picks to move up to get whoever's considered the top quarterback this year, because I don't think none of them is a franchise quarterback.
Facts.
If Justin Fields was coming out in this class, he's the most talented quarterback in this class. Now, he's already had a few years with a bad organization, with bad coaching, and he has not performed up to his capabilities. But everybody says Kenny Pickett's never had any breakout games. Justin Fields has had 2 or 3 4-touchdown games. He's had over 1,000-yard rushing. He's done things. He's just not put it all together. But if we're going to take a chance, I'd rather take a chance and miss and go 6-11 or 7-10 next year, but see progress like that. They are trying to get better and trying to become a true contender. They just sit on their hands and continue in this Groundhog Day of mediocrity. Try something, do something, and they can do this without mortgaging the future. And I'll say this, we keep showing that picture, that graphic. I don't consider Deshaun Watson this great quarterback. I'm not scared of Deshaun Watson at all. The other 2 are good. I don't think he's that good. I'm not worried about him.
We never know if Deshaun, I'm not worried about it. We never know if Deshaun Watson can turn it around, though. We've seen what he's done before. We've never seen Kenny or Mason do that. And that's what we're talking about, again, taking a knife to a gunfight. I'm not scared of him. And
Tate, don't forget to pass that super chat, man. I seen it.
Oh, I didn't see it. I'm glad you told me.
Okay. But listen. Before we get to the super chat,
Sean Manahan, thanks, man.
38 fumbles.
Hey, man, Josh Allen had 20 turnovers. You're talking about 38 fumbles in 3 years. And that's from him out there just trying to make stuff happen.
In Chicago.
Running around from a porous offensive line.
In Chicago.
Extra effort. Yes.
Yes, in Chicago.
He has to clean that up. We don't want him to bring 38 fumbles in 3 years to Pittsburgh. But I'm telling you,
and he had over 1,000 yards rushing. One year he had over 1,000 yards rushing. That's a lot of ball handling.
In his career right now, he's got almost 2,300 rushing.
He was
almost 7,000 passing.
60 yards short of Lamar Jackson's record. This past year, he was like 200 yards behind Lamar Jackson, but missed 4 games. He might have got the quarterback rushing title this year. That's a whole nother threat to your offense. And we're talking about pick 51. We're talking about pick 51.
Yeah.
We're not saying you got a top 15 pick and you giving it away for Justin Fields.
Tell you, we got another super chat from Jay Upper Teeth, bro.
Go ahead and read. Here it go.
Says Jay Upper Teeth, man, we appreciate for the 2, man. It said, I'd only make that trade if we can get a second for Deontay Johnson. I ain't mad. We've been saying Deontay might get traded.
I'll take it. Second round
Jay,
pick now.
And Jay's upper teeth. That you thinking like Shannon. That's the kind of outside the box thinking Shannon talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Replenish that pick with trading somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring in a free agent wide receiver and maybe draft a young guy.
Right. So 38 fumbles with 11 lost fumbles also. See, they always skew it to make it seem like he trash.
Oh,
he ain't trash. He ain't trash like that.
How many touchdowns? I mean, the Steelers, I saw today, the Steelers quarterback room combined for 13 touchdowns this year. We played 17 games and 3 quarterbacks had 13 passing touchdowns. Justin Fields played 12 games and they only had one receiver, DJ Moore. He threw 17 touchdowns.
Matt,
by himself.
I'm gonna give him a little hint before we go to break, bro. Let me tell y'all something. So Justin Fields was on the St. Brown Boys podcast. Tate Boy Fresh sent it to me. I knew about it. Look,
I was gonna play this.
You're naming every stadium, bro. Like, can we get like
just one? I can't just name one. All right, top three.
Yeah,
top three. Wow. No order, top 3. Minnesota. I'll go with the Lions, and I'll go with Pittsburgh.
All right, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh was lit Monday night. It was lit that night.
So he liked playing in Pittsburgh. He said that out of his own mouth. Go ahead,
and only played there once. So the day before he jumps on the St. Brown Boys podcast, he unfriends everything socially from the Chicago Bears. Now, the reason why he came out publicly and said he needed to do it, because he's tired of all the Williams coming to Chicago, I'm getting traded, and he needs a break. But I'm telling you right now, from what I know, that ain't the true story. The true story is Justin's about to get traded. Where he's going to get traded is different. It's a different conversation. But I know for a fact he's adios muchachos out of Chicago. I know that for a fact. And he's going on vacation. He's going to tour. He's going over to Europe. He's going to come back and swing back in Cancun. And then after that, he's going to get back. By the end of the Underwear Olympics will be over with. And then away we go.
For any Steeler fan want to hear more about Justin Fields, watch that podcast. It's called the 33rd Team. St. Brown brothers. Amroy St. Brown for the Lions. His brother plays actually with Chicago for Justin Fields now.
Yep.
But this is I had told you Russ superpower. I said Kenny didn't have no Superman for Kenny. Justin Fields got the juice.
I heard thunder.
Oh, Thor, yeah. If I had a Thor graphic, Shannon, he could have been Thor.
Yep.
And then this last thing we'll go to break. He said about then we come back, we're gonna talk about the defensive side of the ball.
Who's the QB that inspired you most?
QB that inspired me most was Cam growing up, I'd say. I mean, that's why I wear number 1.
That was my favorite player too.
I mean, shoot, back in the day in his prime, he was unstoppable, dog. Like, nobody could mess with that boy. But he's probably inspired me the most. I like Russ too. I'll be keeping in touch with Russ. He's a good dude. A-Rod too. I think he's one of the, probably, if not one of the best to do it. But I think those were kind of, the QBs I was looking up to growing up. Those 3.
Right.
Yeah, so just I forget how you listen to that, man, Big G. You forget how young some of these guys are, man. They was naming the all-time best receivers at Ohio State. Just they asked Justin Fields that, and they said about USC, and they started like the oldest one they gave was Ted Ginn.
No.
So then they were starting at like Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas like what 2015.
Yeah, but man, they needed. You got to go back and get on Joey Galloway, Terry Glenn, and Chris Carter.
Yeah. No, they have. Justin Fields didn't even know that Archie Griffin won 2 Heismans.
I know that. That is a fact. He didn't know that, which is crazy. But I'm just telling y'all, man. So you can, if there's some breaking news, I'm telling you right now, Justin Fields is getting traded. Where I don't know. but he's getting
Hey,
traded.
so if you're watching on YouTube, stay with us live chat. We're going to show you some love in a minute. We just wanted to get right into it. We're at the 30-minute mark, so we're going to take a break. If you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. Listen to audio. You got to hear a word from a couple of our partners. So we got to pay some bills, and we'll be right back after this. And we're back on the Pump Your Brakes podcast. Big G finally starting to show the live chat some love, man. Get them algorithms up, man. We got a good audience tonight. It's up to a little over 100. So I don't know what the likes. I don't know what the likes are right now, but I would assume it's somewhere higher than
no. You know
40
what?
Or 50.
I'm lying. They trash. It's 33, dog. They trash. Come on, y'all. Get it lit up over there, man. And Tate, we got another super chat, man, from J Upper Teeth, man.
J Upper Teeth trying to be the baby new quad father. Go ahead and read it.
J Upper Teeth, we appreciate the two binkers, bro. We appreciate you. He said, Big G, Fields and Stroud in the draft. Who goes first? CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud. Because of his ball accuracy and his ability to take them scrubs that they had. But let me tell you something. The scrubs that they had in Houston is still better than any wide receiver they ever had in Chicago outside of DJ Moore. Tank Dell and Nico Collins and all them was way better than any receiver that they had in Chicago.
Well, and CJ Stroud is just a better pure pocket passer. But we got to get off the quarterback. I mean, Justin Fields brings you that Lamar Jackson element to the game, which is game-changing, potentially game-breaking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's move along. I got an exercise for you guys. Then we're gonna get into the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And we each already did a 4-round mock draft. We know what they are, and we're gonna explain each of us why we went that way.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably need about the last 12 minutes to do that. I'm thinking about 4 or 5 minutes apiece at most. But so
they jumped the rhythms up quick. They went to 50 fast.
Okay, yeah,
they were hitting. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There we go.
Let's talk about, and I got this topic yesterday from watching the Scobro show.
Mm-hmm.
Dave and Big Bro Sco, they were talking about the defensive backfield. You know what I mean? So there's an article written by the Steelers Now guys talking about potential replacements for Patrick Peterson. A, do we think Patrick Peterson is gone? Shannon?
I think so. I hope so. Because I do not want him at cornerback anymore. And he's not physical enough to be a safety. And I don't think he wants to sit on the bench. So I think it'd be better to move on and replace him.
Big G?
Adios, muchachos, my friend. We appreciate your service in Pittsburgh, but it's time to go. Simply because what Shannon say. He don't want to sit on the bench because he's not a starting corner no more. We got another super chat, Tate, with another one from Dennis Pavlak.
That's the real quad father in the building. What's up, Dennis? Go ahead and read it, Big G.
Dennis,
thanks for the super chat, man.
We give you the solution, man. Salute. Honestly.
You got the loonies. He got 5 on it, Big G.
5 on it. Feast on it. It said, honestly, what would you do to keep Cam? And what do we have to do with inside linebacker? It ain't about what we got to do to keep Cam. It's if Cam's willing to negotiate his contract. If Cam's willing to do like the futures things or the voided contract thing, to push it down the road a little bit, and we pay a little bit, he's got to be willing to do that. At inside linebacker, we got to get healthy, number one, because we got some serviceable dudes, but we got to draft. And that's what we're going to talk about maybe tonight. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
No, linebacker, we can talk about that next week. But I think Cam's situation will work itself out. Cam don't want to go nowhere. Cam, the way he got 2 years left, he'll let them stretch that money out, give him an extension, and that's when they can move money when you have an extension. They can't do it as is now with 1 year left on his contract. They have to give him an extension. So I think they give him a 2 year, add one more year to it, move the money around, maybe make that last year a void year,
Yeah.
And and then we're back in a good place.
Facts.
So the exercise I got, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you said Pat P is gone.
Adios.
These are some of the potential replacements in the draft to replace Pat P. You got your boy. You can see who it is. The name is small, but for those listening on the audio, it's a graphic with Pat P. And they had 6 cornerbacks that could replace Patrick Peterson. You got Cooper DeJean. You got Nate Wiggins from Clemson. Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. What's the dude from Missouri? Berkshaw.
Yep. Dennis Berkshaw Jr.
Terrion Arnold from Alabama.
Yep.
And TJ Tampa from Iowa State.
All 6 of them are great.
So I think the top 3, maybe Terrion Arnold are first round picks.
No, I think possibly 4 or 5 of them might be first round picks.
Well, I just said the top 3 and Terrion Arnold.
No,
so if
I
you
think
putting Berkshaw and TJ Tampa in the first round, then okay, I don't think they're first round picks.
Berkshaw might be. Berkshaw, nice. You got to go back and catch that film. Tate, we got another super chat from Kenny McNair, bro.
Kenny McNair, thank you, homie.
Appreciate it. First time in the chat. Yep.
We appreciate it. Go ahead and read it, Big G. Or Shannon, you want to read it? One of y'all read it. I can't see.
Shannon, go ahead, bro. Tate blind as a bat. Go.
It says, say what you want about Kenny, but he plays well against the AFC North. That's
Facts.
very true. So how do you think Fields would fare against the division? Any late comebacks?
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, he's not had a chance to do very many comebacks in Chicago because the games have been out of hand a lot of times. He might remember that game in Pittsburgh because that game come down to the end. It was a close game down to the last minute. So, obviously it would be a different situation, a different team, different division. But, a lot of the games last year were kind of fluky wins. And they won by not making the big mistake, and the other team did. But you can't count on that happening again this year.
That's fine.
So my take on this, Kenneth, is I think Justin Fields will be fine in our division. Fact of the matter is, I think Justin Fields will come here and put some points on the board. So, Kenny Pickett's play style, the way he's been playing his first 2 years, fits in those kind of tough, grinded out games in the AFC North. It fits. But when you go play San Francisco 49ers and you miss a slant to Deontay Johnson in the first quarter to keep the game like 7-7 to keep you in the game, and you've blown different passes all season, not let it go. I mean, you can't score points that way. That's why Mason scored 34 and 31 and, even scored more than Kenny averaged against Buffalo. I think we scored 17. So I think the threat of Justin Fields in Arthur Smith's offense, the RPO game, the play action game, him being part of running the ball with Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, you're going to put points on the board. It's going to make it easier on the defense. They might get up on somebody. The defense can pin their ears back and attack. I mean, it's a lot of more nuance to it than just Kenny Pickett. But he let us down against Cleveland in the 13-10 game that we probably should have won. I mean, do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I feel it. The issue is this, man. Like I said, the biggest flaw, and I'm done with talking about the whole thing with Kenny. We're gonna move on. The biggest issue and the biggest flaw with KPA is and I think where the disservice and disjustice was done is by naming Mitch Trubisky the backup quarterback. Mason should have been the backup all along. All along, he should have been.
Well, that was
disservice.
That was money move.
I understand that. I know it was a money move. I get all that, but it was disservice.
This what we know we got in defensive secondary. We got Minka and Porter Jr.
You forgot.
So we got a graphic up of Minka and Porter Jr. We need 6 more DBs in the room, maybe 7. We say 6 just for this exercise. We got Terrell Austin and Grady Brown, the defensive back coach. So I'm gonna give you guys options. Okay, you need to fill the room up. G, you go first. We'll let Shannon go second because you always try and make Shannon go first. So,
okay, who's my options?
You got. I'm going to show you. You got in-house and free agent options. You got Corey Trice be back next year. The top corner right is Cam Rush. Chandon Sullivan at the top corner left. Pat Peterson, free agents. Ladarius Sneed or Jalen Johnson. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got college guys coming in, potential first round guys. You got Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Quinyon Mitchell. What's his name? We just talked about Alabama.
Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold and Kool-Aid McKistry.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to get some safeties.
Mm-hmm.
Our safety option. You got the kid from Minnesota, Big G.
Torben, your dog.
You got the kid from Miami.
Yep.
Cam.
That could be Kitchens.
Yeah, Cam Kitchens.
Yeah.
I said Turbin. His last name Nurbin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nubin from Minnesota.
Nubin, yeah.
You got Cam Kitchens. Shannon called him right at Miami. Both those potential first round guys. Maybe Kitchens is second round. You got bring Terrell Edmonds back. You got the guy I like, Jeremy Chin, from Carolina, free agent, Steve Atwater's nephew, and you got Shannon's guy, Kyle Duggar, from New England. So
Tate.
Big G.
Wait, before Claude got a super chat, man. We just got another super chat here, Claude.
Okay. I never mind being interrupted by the super chat. Thanks, Claude. The homie Claude, man. Before I pull the super chat up, I ain't looked at it. You gotta go to the Matrix, Claude. You paying to go to the Matrix? I'm just asking.
Automatic.
Go ahead, Automatic. Go ahead, read.
Claude Bishop. Resign Mason. Keep Kenny at number 2. And sign Dobbs to the number 3. And keep your draft capital. And leave Mr. Turnover in Chicago or wherever. No. No.
Hey, Claude,
no.
I'm not gonna put you in the Matrix for that, because that's just your perspective, your take. Much respected. But so we bring Kenny and Mason back and Josh Dobbs? Come on, man. That's just retreads that we had that could never play. Well, they sat behind Ben. But when we went to Mason outside this past 3 games, really, I mean, he did an interception in Buffalo, kind of was costly. And he fumbled. But and we talking about Justin Fields. Josh Dobbs, he's okay third if you get him. But I mean,
I heard that Landry Jones is looking for a job.
Man, Landry Jones, 35 years old, ain't been in the league.
Well, we're bringing back all the old gang.
Oh, yeah. I feel your point right there, Shannon. And I don't know why everybody's so turned on by Mason. I like Mason. I respect Mason. But Mason's not that guy, man. Just look at it. Certain guys you see got the talent and the skill. Even if they haven't played to it yet, to get you to a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Mason's not as good as Brock Purdy. I don't think neither is Kenny now. I think San Francisco just found something. It's a good system. But I think Brock Purdy's a pretty good quarterback now.
Hey, Tate, what's skewing everything is same thing, the Kendrick Green effect. We see Kendrick Green, and then Mason and Cole look like all pro. You see Kenny Pickett struggle. You see Mason Rudolph play adequate. He looks like an all pro. It's because the bar's been lowered so far.
That's facts.
Very
big facts. That's
very good. Let's keep it moving. Big G, pick 6. I showed you all your choices.
Yep.
So you got to get six guys. I'm going to hear it.
I
got in-house. Keep anybody from in-house?
Corey Trice. Corey Trice might be the starting corner opposite JP.
I don't know about that. Go ahead.
Oh, Corey Trice a dog. You gonna see?
Saying, Big G, he's the 7th round pick. He ain't played at all.
You gonna see? Corey Trice was a 7th round pick.
Keep going, Big G. Keep the train on the track. Corey Trice is 1.
We can't afford Snead, so keep it pushing.
So no, nobody else on this graphic.
Nope.
So you getting rid of Cam Rush?
It depends if he wants to stay or not. Cam Rush can do what he want to do.
He's under contract. He don't have a choice. They cap him.
So he's got a 2-year deal right now.
I don't know what he has. I know he's under contract.
All right, so I got Corey Trice and Cam Rush. Flip to the next page.
It's the draftees. You draft anybody? Yep. These are all early picks.
Well, the issue is, can we get anybody? If we're going to dress the offensive line in the first round, none of them dudes going to be available.
That's why you make a decision. That's why you did a mock draft. So do this exercise, Big G.
Nope, I ain't.
You're not drafting nobody at pick 20 that's a cornerback.
No, not none of them. No.
Okay, so you got 2 of 6. Now you
Yep.
got your safety options. You can get one out the draft, maybe a second one of them.
Give me
And you got
Newbin.
free agents.
Give me Newbin. And
Well,
give me
that's
that
a
kid.
first round pick.
Newbin ain't no first round pick, bro.
Big G's not going to be there at 51. And if
Yes,
you
he
trade
is.
for Justin Fields, you're not going to have 51.
Newbin might be there second going into third. Believe me when I'm telling you. Believe
Okay,
me.
we'll talk about this in our draft shows. I can't wait till draft day.
Right. So,
Go ahead.
but,
So Newbin is 3. Anybody else?
and maybe the kid from New England. I like that kid from New England.
Kyle Duggar. I like Kyle Duggar
Yep,
too.
I
That's
like
Shannon
him
guy.
too.
So
Yep.
far, you only got 4 or 6.
We'll figure the rest out as it goes.
Are you going anywhere else?
We might get some other free agents to sell out there. We might get a lower draft pick. But right now,
Okay.
them is the ones I want.
Shannon,
We got
you up
another
next.
super chat, Tate. We got another super
Okay,
chat too.
Shannon first. Go ahead, Shannon.
Well, for me, I obviously want Joey Porter Jr. I want a free agent.
Well, yeah, Joey Porter Jr. and Meek are locks. That's why they're out there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about corners first. I want Joey Porter Jr. I think their big free agent signing should be a cornerback. So you talk to Snead, you talk to Johnson, see which one fits. If not, you go on down the list. But you got to get a number 2 with experience that can play press. Then if Trace, I want Rush, and I want Pierre is my cornerback.
Oh, you bringing Pierre back?
I want
I'm bringing Pierre back. Yes,
I want Pierre back too.
Wait.
Shannon. I do.
Let's count. Let's count. So you got obviously we know you got Porter Meek. We said pick 6. So you picked a free agent.
Yes.
You picked Trice and Rush.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So those are 3, right? That's all you said was 3, right?
And
Yes.
Pierre.
Pierre is 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not spending a first round draft capital in the corner.
No, I want that to be the big free agent signing.
Okay, that makes sense. And now your
safety,
safety room.
At safety, obviously Fitzpatrick. I would love to get Terrell Edmonds back on a 2 or 3 year deal because I think he would be cheaper than the other options. If not, I want Duggar because you need somebody who can play strong safety and let Fitzpatrick go back to what he is. And then you're going to have Tristan Thompson, and you're going to have another safety, probably Killebrew, and a draft pick. Now, I like the kid in, I think his last name's Johnson, out of Miami. He's a strong safety, 6'5", like 218. And he could give you a very good impersonation of Edmonds because he's very athletic.
Shannon, don't sleep on Tyler Newbin. Go sit down on that tape. Don't
All
sleep
right,
on
the
that.
super chat. Who's that from? Michael Payer.
Yeah, Michael Payer. We appreciate you, bro. Never seen you in the super chat,
Thanks,
so we
man.
appreciate
the love.
Yep. They'll extend, rework PP, draft a cornerback by the 5th. He's cornerback 2 till Trice or rookie takes it. He's the future cornerback 3 slot safely till he retires. I don't necessarily like it, but that might be in the plan. I ain't mad at that plan if they do re-sign it, even though I know that Patrick Peterson is long in the tooth, and I don't think he can sit out on the island and play corner. That's just me. I can see that happen. I can see that scenario happen.
And thanks for the super chat, Mike. I don't think he can either, but I think his value, if they bring him back and rework his deal, and it'd be the same thing like they did with Cam, they'd have to extend it because he only has 1 year on his deal left. And, like I said, I mean, lower the per year cost and maybe make the last year a void year when they need to get to it. But, I think Pat P's value now is working with the young guys.
Yeah.
That's his value. And he's capable. If you need to, he can't guard Jamar Chase every down in for a whole game.
Nope.
But he's capable. So, okay, so we're going to get to our mock draft.
Put it up there, Tate.
I'm coming, man. Big G.
I didn't get a chance to see yours, man. I'm anxious to see it. Go ahead.
Pump your brakes, man. Here we go. For all 3 of us on the clock, who wants to go first before I pull it up? I can go first if y'all want, or Who wants to go first?
I'll let Shannon go. Shannon go first.
You always let Shannon go. Maybe Shannon don't want to go first.
Shannon, I'll go first. I'll go first. Pull my draft up.
Okay.
I don't care.
I'm pulling everybody's draft up. All you got to do is talk about it. We got 11 minutes left. So let's be succinct and you talking about your draft.
Go ahead, man.
There you go, Big G. Your draft is the one that your picture is under. Can you figure that out?
Yep, I absolutely got it. Absolutely got it. So I got Amartys Mims, offensive tackle from Georgia at 20. Zach Frazier at number 51, center out of West Virginia. Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle, University of Michigan at 84. Brendan Rice, wide receiver, USC Trojans, which is Jerry Rice's son, at 120. And Cam Hart, cornerback, Notre Dame at number 121.
Talk about two of the picks.
So the two picks that I would be shocked if they're sitting there is 84 Chris Jenkins, because I think his draft stock is going to rise out of this world. He might be the strongest guy in the draft. And the other guy who I really like is Mims. I think that Mims' stock is better than J.C. Latham. I think it's better than the kid who's the offensive tackle out of Oregon State. I think it's better than the kid out of BYU, but I don't think he's the Joe Alt type guy.
No,
the guy
Big
from
G.
State.
Big G. In this draft, Pro Football Focus, Amartys Mims was ranked number 31 overall.
Facts, he was. But that's Pro Football Focus, and you know how I feel about them folks. So I don't even know why you stirring it up.
Touche.
Yeah, they old trash. Oh, Pro Football.
No, I like that draft. We all got players in common.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, Shannon, let's hear what you got, man.
Well, I obviously had Mims in the first, Zach Frazier, my favorite, in the second, Brandon Fisk, excuse me, in the third. And in the fourth, we have two picks. So Junior Colson is the first fourth rounder, and Malik Washington out of Virginia is my second fourth rounder. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason I went with I didn't want to have the same first two rounds that Big G had, but Mims, the only other option when I tried to wait to get Frazier any later is that he was gone in the second round.
Yep.
And so Mims I do like. There's Guyton. There's a few other guys that could possibly be there that won't be there in the second. So that forces you to take them in the first, because I am serious about addressing the offensive line. But I think Frazier is a 10-year starter, and I think he's the answer the Steelers have been looking for. Mm-hmm. I think Brandon Fisk is like an Aaron Smith, Kiesel. He is just a real fundamental, super strong football player that will be an upgrade on that defensive line. And a full-time starter by year two. And I like Colson because they got to do something to get younger at linebacker. Washington was just – I didn't even realize that we had back-to-back picks there. So Washington was the highest-rated receiver left because I want a bigger-bodied guy. But the guys that I like Corley and even Rice were gone when I picked there.
Yep. And we got to preface this too. We wasn't allowed to make no trades or do nothing like that. We just had to do a straight draft.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay. So I got Jerzon Newton, defensive tackle from Illinois in the first round. He doesn't really play the typical Steelers scheme, but I think you put him with also another young guy, our guy, who we just drafted last year, man.
Keanu Benton.
Yeah, Benton. Put him with Benton, and Newton is a smaller guy, probably about 285, but he's fast. He gets pressure. He's kind of like a poor man's Aaron Donald right now.
So you want to switch to a 4-3?
I don't think, man. I think the 3-4 is more confusing to offenses. Let me put a super chat up.
Steelers Reaper, man, what's cracking, man? Ain't heard from you a minute, but I've been seeing you on the live chat for sure. Steelers Reaper said,
Reaper.
Facts. He said if the Steelers draft Frazier, What's the over-under in the days and hours before Shannon is in sporting his new jersey? Shannon, Steelers Reaper. Bet the over. Bet the over. Don't bet the under.
Bet the under. Less than get week 3.
No, Shannon will go have that sucker on the next week as soon as they're available. As soon as they're available, Shannon go have a Frazier jersey.
It wouldn't be very long.
Yeah, as soon as they're available.
Hey, thanks, Steeler Reaper, man. We really appreciate
Definitely,
you.
definitely.
Hey, so Jashawn Newton, it's the talent. Wasn't no tackles there. Mims again was at 31. Newton was overall number 13. We need a defensive lineman, so I just went with the highest, most talented defensive lineman. Zach Frazier, we all agreed on. We need a center. I didn't address the tackle because I got us, at the very least, Dan Moore plays one more year, or we get somebody like Mekhi Becton on the cheap in free agency. I like that. I addressed middle linebacker with Peyton Wilson. I like his length, his speed, his size. He has a nose for the ball. So I really like him out of North Carolina State. Brendan Rice. We all know how this Tomlin and the Steelers like pedigree.
Facts.
What better pedigree than Jerry Rice's son, right? He's 6'3", 215, big body, like we talked about already at the receiver position. And
he can run routes too. He run heck of routes. He run great routes.
I'm just talking about he would be a good young third receiver on day one in camp. And I also like Cam Hart out of Notre Dame, big 6'2", 6'3", 210 physical corner. You pair him back there with Peasy and Trice and Rush and all those young guys, just big young corner. Everybody 6 foot or over and weigh 200 pounds or over. I like the idea of that. So, what do we all think about each other's drafts?
Well, I would give probably all of you guys either an A- or a B+. The only guy that I was torn about was that Peyton Wilson kid because I think he's a stud. I think he's Jack Campbell 2.0. But I couldn't pass up on the talent of Chris Jenkins. Chris Jenkins is a beast.
You went decent tackle, best available on that round. I went best available in the first round. What do you think, Shannon?
I better not say because I don't want to offend nobody. It ain't you, Big G.
Speak your piece.
No, I don't want to hurt Tate's feelings because his first round pick was trash.
He said it full trash. He said
I don't want to hurt your feelings, Tate, because I love you, bro.
Hey,
all I'm saying is
fire.
The Steelers. He's about the same size as Levon Kirkland. The Steelers like their linemen to be 300 sub pounds, can move inside or out. I don't see him as a good fit unless they go 4-3.
And I said it. I
don't want to say your whole draft was stressed because Frazier and the second. Matter of fact, I liked all the other rounds. I just hated your first round pick. But don't be hurt, Tate. I love you, buddy.
I can't remember who was all there, but I went talent, man. And you get talent, on the basketball court, on the baseball down on the field. You figure out how to work with it. You do something with it. And I'm hoping.
I'm just picking at you.
No problem, man. And I'm hoping DeMarvin Leal comes around this year. If we grab somebody, him to come around, get Ben, get Cam for another year, I think they're gonna keep Ogunjobi too. I don't think Ogunjobi going nowhere. Then Armand Watts is cheap. I think we got a nice start to a D line.
I ain't mad at it. For sure.
I just think that Leal was a reach. I think they saw something that wasn't there, and I don't see him as a good fit at this defense unless he can come in at 315 and show us something this year. But he cannot come in at 280 to 300 again. He's that's too small to be effective on this defense.
I agree with you, Shannon, but the Steelers got to decide where they're going to put him. Put him somewhere.
Well, I think they've decided that it has to be defensive line, and they're going to ask him to be bigger.
He needs to come in about 20, 25 pounds heavier.
Definitely.
And he's really playing for his NFL career, really. I mean, outside of being a practice squad guy or, being somebody's second or third string, defensive end somewhere. So yeah, he got a lot to prove this year.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Right.
fellas, we about to get out of here. Hey, I already talked to Jeff, and I don't know when. I'm gonna start writing for Fans First Sports Network, some Steelers stuff, some Cavs stuff, some Red stuff. So like Shannon always plugging his articles all the time, and we love them. You know, I'm gonna be doing the same thing here in a few weeks, hopefully. So be on the lookout for that when you see composed by Tate Boy Fresh. That's my ghost name, Big G.
You got a ghostwriter. A ghostwriter. That's hilarious.
Hey Shannon, what's going on, man, for the rest of the week?
That's it. I have some other stuff going on that's not part of SCN, so I don't want to promote that. So this is it for me until we get to the hangover on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
G. Stradamus.
What's cracking, y'all? Hey, listen, man. Next week, 7 days from now, it will be the 28th. We're on the eve of the Underwear Olympics, man. So our show next week is going to be off the chain because there was 3 topics we couldn't even get to. But we thank all you guys for rocking with us in the live chat. We appreciate the super chats. Make sure you check me and Tate Boy Fresh out this Friday on the Homies and the Homies Overtime. Listen, we've been backstage writing scripts, talking about what's going to be going on this week for the Homies Overtime. And when I'm telling y'all it's going to be lit up like a Christmas tree, there might be some furniture moved around. There might be dudes catching airplanes to Washington, D.C. or Atlanta, Georgia, or even to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, because it's been a little heated already this week. So make sure you come in and check the Homies and the Homies Overtime out. On Sunday, make sure you check out the Know It Alls podcast because guess what, y'all? Know It Alls podcast is on Fans First Sports Network now. So you can listen to the Know It Alls podcast on Facebook or all the other places you've been catching us, but we're now on Fans First Sports Network. So you can catch us on the rewind on there over there too. Make sure you swing back anytime during the week. That's Rather Cavaliers, Cleveland Cavaliers podcast for me and Tate Boy Fresh, rocking out with our youngster, Relly Hall. And don't forget to check me out on the Level Up College Football podcast on Mondays with my boy Andy P. This last week's show, man, was off the hook, bro. And we're really talking about doing multiple shows per week. We've been asked to do multiple shows per week because the information we're bringing, because the kids that play college eventually go pro. So we know about them way before. So make sure you swing and check all the podcasts along with everything on Steel Curtain Network, the Scobro Show, the Big Three, every show that's out there. The show Shannon's on Mondays. Make sure you check out and follow, like, and subscribe. Steel Curtain Network podcasting. And you can always catch us every day on YouTube with live podcasts.
Hey, and I tried to reach out to her. We have a new contributor to the Steel Curtain Network.
Mm-hmm.
D Love Sports.
Mm-hmm.
She does the audio show right now, The Week That Was.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to her. Pretty insightful and informative. Steeler fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to reach out to see if one of these weeks she wants to join us on one of these shows. I don't know which one, whatever works for her, really.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, check her out. She sounds really good. I haven't formally met her yet. She was in our Zoom meeting the other day. I saw D. I didn't know who it was and had the camera on. Then I talked to Bad for a bit after the meeting, and he told me all about her. I listened to her and tried to reach out. So yeah, check her out. Support that. Support the whole SCN and the Fans First Sports Network, that Cleveland Cavalier podcast. Let's find out right here, right now on air before we leave. Big G, we ready to do a cast podcast right now when we get out of here, or you want to wait till tomorrow, post game?
It don't matter to me, dog. Let's do what we do. It don't matter. No. We can do it. I'd rather do it tonight than tomorrow. But keep going.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Tate,
yes, sir.
We see our buddy Jerry Cherry Band. He was saying we're going to do the show next week under underwear, since it's
the Underwear Olympics.
It
under
is.
the Underwear Olympics. But what he don't know is we're all in our underwear right now.
Yeah,
no, I ain't, Shannon. I got a whole outfit on. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. No.
Big G always.
Can't you go along with the joke?
Big, the quad father back in the build. Big G always wear that hoodie, but he really got a onesie on it. He got his feet in slippers inside.
I got some youth feet right now.
And if I stand up right now, you'll see these Fruit of the Loom boxers. But one last super chat before we get out of here.
Quad Father, man, we appreciate you, man. $2. We thank you for it. Time for Pump Your Brakes overtime. Total facts, bro.
Oh, man, you guys feel us like that, man? Because
yeah, it's time.
We really like to think that every week we try and bring you a good product and good insight on Pittsburgh and football in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Shannon, an old school. What position you play, Shannon?
Mostly linebacker.
Okay,
Shannon was a thumper. Yeah, he's
Shannon,
a thumper.
old school thumper out the hardcore state of West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Big G's an old ex-collegiate and high school offensive lineman, high school all-state offensive lineman.
Facts, big facts.
Who's some of the people you played with, G, in the all-state game?
Jeff Cawthorn, Johnny Mattress.
I remember Jeff Cawthorn went to Ohio State, played for the Bengals. Johnny Mattress was all-state, all-American, but didn't work out for him in football.
Jimmy Calhoun, Ricky Powers, Robert Smith.
Robert Smith was a beast.
Mm-hmm. Yep, some of the dudes I played with.
The running back, Robert Smith?
Big Daddy Wilkinson.
No, he was the year after. Big Daddy Dan was the year after.
But we played against him.
Oh, yeah, y'all smashed him. 21-7. Look it up, 21-7. 21-7. We smashed Dayton Dunbar.
And that team had
Chris Nellums and Big Daddy Dan.
Chris Nellums, the sprinter, the U.S. sprinter.
Yeah.
Dayton Dunbar.
We smashed Dunbar. Trash. Get him out of here.
What were you saying, Shannon?
Mm-hmm.
No, I just said the running back, Robert Smith.
Oh, yeah, right. Euclid High School.
Yeah.
He averaged 10 yards a carry his senior year high school.
was a grown man. When he walked in the room, Shannon was a grown man.
He just first down, maybe.
First grown man. Saw him, looked at him. I was like, this dude is a pro. I looked at him, straight pro. First day.
He was a beast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. So we appreciate it, man. Pump your brakes overtime, man. Y'all put that out there in the air, and who knows? Maybe we already, when we leave here, we shouldn't bump our gun for another 10 or 15 minutes before we break up from each other.
Total facts.
So yeah, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us. We definitely appreciate all the support, all the love, all the super chats, all the engagement. Hope this was a good show to you. We had fun doing it with the mock draft, with the working, fixing things, talking about the quarterback. We won't be talking about the quarterback unless some real news comes out next week. We're gonna break away something different because old man Grumpy Shannon's tired of talking about the quarterback.
Amen.
But no, we'll figure out something else to talk about. Maybe we'll talk later this week, guys. Until then, guys. For Shannon, for Big G, Shannon, take us home, man.